It's the 4th and final episode of this session of Poker Time. We played 3 hours. We've had some
weird stuff.
Some blood has been drawn. I'll say that.
DM5 gonna limp the ace-10 off under the gun.
Jeremy with a pretty hand. Doesn't play great +1.
But he wants to play it. So he's going to raise, it looks like.
I like raising better than a limp here for Jeremy. Like, take control of this hand if you're gonna play it.
50.
No.
VPip Joe wants to be VPip Joe. But
he's trying to discipline himself.
Yeah. He's got that cool jacket thing going there.
Right, sure.
Kevin with the call. Mark, of course, with the fold. And DM5 flatting.
Wow. They looked like they were going to win so many times from that, too.
And it's a 3 that Jeremy hits, but it also hits Kevin.
Good luck getting Kevin to fold a pair.
Yep.
I wish you luck in that endeavor, sir.
Is the plan to bet or to check as Jeremy checks?
Betting would be pretty reasonable with the 2 back doors.
Queen is a bad card, obviously. Could hit somebody. It kind of hits DM5,
if
but not really.
DM5 was checking, I think Jeremy could bet this as a bluff now. But
I think DM5 can bet this as a bluff pretty effectively now against these 2 hands. Kevin might call, I guess. I don't think Jeremy's going to call.
I don't see how Jeremy can reasonably call here with Kevin behind him and this board. There's so many better cards on the turn for him to hit and continue against. But
looks like he's just
really
not going to believe, and he's correct. Now, this might get Kevin out, but no.
What a disaster for Jeremy that Kevin insta-overcalls there.
Jeremy needs a 4 and a 4 only.
Wow.
DM5 needs a 10 or jack, and he hits a 10.
10 will do it.
And a king, I'm not a jack. That's what I meant. But
well,
anyway, he gets a 10.
No one's listening to you anyway. It's
now
fine.
He's probably going to check, yeah. And
I imagine Jeremy's going to take his what is pretty much non-existent showdown value at this point.
Yeah, it's not really very good.
DM5 could have been bluffing, and Kevin could have been calling with a draw, but mostly you're just screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 2 pair? My kicker was better.
You are correct, Kevin.
It's hard to have a worse kicker.
Man. Oh.
Second place, though.
Yeah, I thought he was slow rolling.
You're just the first loser.
That's what people say.
Yep.
But that's not how I would feel if I got second place in the main event. I'd feel like I won money.
I don't know. Tony Miles was pretty salty about it.
Okay. Well, maybe he's a jerk. I don't know. I would be pretty happy.
Yeah. I'd be pretty happy, too.
They had like 6 points or something like that. With 7 minutes left.
Jeremy, it's on you. Jeremy.
Oh, that was
Jeremy's
just like
on you.
a little late there. All right, so next hand.
There you go. Wonka's going to play this, right? He does have his very strict ranges. All right.
So we doing this round?
Just a little outside the range there, I think, for Wonka to play it.
You think if he was in Jake's seat, he would have played it?
I think that's where it probably starts, certainly in Joe's
Change
seat.
the game to just, 25 straight to the flop.
I scored 15 points in the
Raise 60?
Joe's going to click it back with King-Queen here. It's like an isolation play that completely fails.
Yep. When Kevin's behind you, you can't make isolation plays with small raises.
Kevin calls
Jake,
quickly and easily.
Jake, of course, is going to call. DM5 calls, which is strange.
He somehow has the only ace. Sort of a miracle. Jake's probably just going to call this, and it's completely reasonable to. But, man, a 4-bet would be so perfect here. Like, what a beautiful squeeze 4-bet play it would be.
We just haven't seen Joe make this play before, so Jake might be a little bit afraid it's a nutted range.
I think it's fine to call, obviously. It makes all the sense.
Well, here we have a couple gut shots and DM5 with the ace. Oh, he actually folded. Never mind.
What do you mean he folded?
Pre-flop.
Oh, pre-flop he folded. Okay, that makes way more sense.
Yep, it does. Makes tons of sense.
Joe is
oh,
the
no,
king
he
of
didn't
hearts.
fold. He has cards.
I just checked through. That was
his hand
Samantha.
disappeared.
We let her have another chance, and she immediately fails. What a shock.
Anyway, now he's betting his ace, and we have a monster card for Joe on the turn.
Yeah. Joe absolutely could raise here. Although DM5 can have trip 10s and flushes and things like that.
Jake, by the way, open-ended, and I think he did call, right? Or no, he hasn't acted yet.
Yeah, Jake's thinking about it. Jake's trying to decide. I don't think Jake's going to ultimately find a call.
No hearts in his hand.
With too many players in the hand also. It's just hard to win. Also, the board's paired. For a second, I thought Joe was picking up the raising chips, but he's going to just try and make a hand here. No way Kevin can call this one, right?
I mean, I've seen stuff happen, but I think he'll fold.
He does find a fold.
Us again?
DM5.
Show me your cards, don't forget.
84% equity, pretty good.
Both.
I can't
And it holds.
Says there's an ace on the river, but that is untrue.
It's
It
a
is-
king of diamonds. There it is.
Have an ace. Supposed to bed. I know you have a heart.
Jack or any heart.
Supposed to bed.
Didn't want the king.
I don't know. Joe probably gets that through if he raises the turn. I don't know if betting the river is going to do it or not.
I mean, now all of the aces are chopping except for ace king.
Yeah,
Ace
but
10,
king
ace nine.
gets there, ace
Go,
king.
baby. Let's go.
Ace king was already there, I guess.
Always do it on my
Oh, looks like we've got a bomb pot developing.
All
here.
right.
Players have agreed to a $25 a person bomb pot. They've done
That's
this
the
many
spirit.
times on this
I don't think
series
he can
so
double me
far.
up, but that's a good thought.
Pretty much all of Jake's profit in this session has come from the 2 bomb pots he played.
Yeah, that might be true.
He won a huge pot against Jeremy when he flopped top 2, and Jeremy check raised all in on the turn with a combo draw.
Once again, not too many great hands. Zach with the best starting hand with ace queen. Now on the flop, it looks like we have 4-5 for an open ender.
And a 3 for Joe, and 2 back doors for Joe, and a 3 for Kevin, and a deuce for Mark. Wow, not a whole lot of powerful hands right now.
Nope. And Zach's going to bet ace queen.
Wow.
That is obscene into so many players.
I gotta believe DM5 is gonna call.
This might work out in the end, though,
Yeah.
for Zach.
If yeah, it really might work out in the end. Although hitting an ace would be a disaster card for him. Although he shouldn't put in too much money in a bomb pot, but he just might.
I mean, it's very surprising to see him bet ace high.
Yes, it is. Ace high, no draw.
Is this a form of entitlement tilt? Like, oh, I would have had a good hand in a normal pot.
I'm guessing it is.
There's a jack of clubs. I don't think that's going to help him get it through against DM5's
There's
hand.
no way DM5 can fold, but it goes check, check,
And
and
there's
now
a queen, and
wow.
Zach is going to win. I don't know if DM5 is even going to
he should bluff.
put up any
He
resistance.
does, and I think he absolutely should bluff. I don't think it would have worked.
He could still bluff.
That's a good point.
Zach bets very small. DM5 might read into this.
He's definitely never calling.
Oh, look at this. He's reaching for chips. I think he's going to do it.
This is cool. Let's see if it works. Let's see how he sizes it, and then we'll see if it works. I'm excited. This is a good play, even though it's. I don't know if it's gonna work against Zach.
325.
Doesn't look like that much.
325, sure.
It's kind of small. It's kind of cool how small he made it.
I mean, Ace Queen is not supposed to be good here, right? He's supposed to be against Queen 9.
And it looks like it's really not going to work.
It 100% does not work.
Got the old nut low here for the 5 high.
Nice call by Zach.
I wonder if that was a sizing mistake by DM5. He might have been trying to say, I have a super strong hand and I feel comfortable sizing it this way. But Zach might be a more price-sensitive guy that he should have made it like 550 on if
Maybe.
he's going to try a bluff there.
That said, we've really seen DM5 have a lot of cool moves, and that was one of them. Like,
Yeah.
you just don't see that many check raise bluffs on the river in Hold'em. You
Yeah.
just don't see it.
It's
And
a scary play, and it works a lot, I'm sure.
yeah, I'm sure it does.
The proper move, though.
He ran into.
Sure you did, because you made it.
I guess that's near the top of Zach's range there. Queen 9 is probably a better hand. There aren't too many other better hands. I guess he can have some other Queen X. But Queen 9, I don't know if he's betting some of the other one pair hands on the
40?
flop even. So that maybe.
Well, if the river wasn't a queen, it would have certainly been a play that worked, although Zach probably wouldn't have bet.
Zach probably checks and wins anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I was measuring it up the hand.
Anyways, it was a cool try.
In case you didn't know, you're right.
It's possibly picked the wrong customer there too.
It is possible, yeah.
Correct, though. Technically
Jake,
correct.
if Jake bets that river, he's probably
correct.
folding. He may not bet that river
I
though.
just took it
Jake
off the
never
hand
has
and
ace queen
measured
there.
it.
Right.
Left it
That's
there.
true.
Hiding it from David.
Man,
But if we somehow could
That's-
teleport to the river only.
Yeah.
$10.
I don't know if Jake's even going to bet top on the river in a
After
bomb
this,
pot.
I'll take a look at this.
Hands up.
DM5 is paying the 10 on the button because Kevin bets super tiny.
All right, we're bumping up a little bit now. $20.
He's doing it again
And another call.
with queen high.
Just hoping to spike something. He does not.
120.
Kevin bets more now, hoping DM5 has a 9.
Hoping he doesn't have a 5. Hoping he does have a 9.
Yep.
Hoping he doesn't have a better ace. Doesn't have ace 10. DM5 can't be thinking about calling, right?
Is he going to raise another river 2 in a row?
I mean,
as a
he
bluff?
is it possible he was calling the flop and turn because he just put Kevin on a straight draw?
Yeah, maybe he's
So maybe he is thinking about calling.
he blocks the straight draws, some of them at least. The
Not
open ender.
3-4. 3-4 got there.
It did. That's true.
Oh yeah, he blocks it. You're right. He does block it though. He does
He
call.
just calls the queen high.
Kevin thinks he's losing. I guess he doesn't think he's losing.
You didn't like stir fry, Jeremy?
Oh,
Kevin's
ace-
up to
it's
over
ace-
$5,000 in front of him. And we are just seeing some whack plays here.
Yeah, DM5 is
But they wouldn't let
bringing the weird plays to the river.
Non-traditional. Clearly, he put Kevin on a straight draw there and not 3-4. Like you said, he does block 3-4, though. That's a reason to fold.
I really ask him.
Although I guess 3-4 gets there anyway.
Yeah,
so.
3-4 gets there.
Sometimes I ask who the only hand that beats me. If I like the second nut, like,
Maybe he thinks when the ace comes, it's like, well, Kevin, what could you have been betting all the way?
hand when I do it.
And then size it up there on the river. But Kevin was betting so small, he can have lots of
Yeah, he can have a
crappy
ton of
things,
stuff.
lots of aces
So
and
I'm
stuff.
asking the question, you know?
Anyway, it's easy to say that when you can see the cards, Grant.
Well, I can see that Joe has aces, and that's a hand that you should VPip.
He's got the weapons of mass destruction, Vince.
And he's gonna limp.
He's gonna put the twigs and berries over the hole.
That's
See
not
if
even-
anyone falls in.
That's not even really a voice that you're doing, is it?
Twigs and sticks over the big hole in the ground.
Anyway, Mark is gonna raise to 35. This is so weird. We've seen Mark open to 55 and raise to 80 over limps, and now he's gonna make it 35. I don't understand what's going on.
Joe is loving this, especially if Jeremy puts some money in, which Jeremy probably should.
yeah,
for
he's
35
gonna
on the
call,
button.
Imagine.
I got 30 minutes and then I'm
Wonka's going to get away, get to save $30. That is never going to only be $30 pre-flop. So is Zach. Sorry, it's Jake. Sorry, Jake.
$757.
Here it comes. Prediction, Joe's going to size too big. He's going to blow everyone away. Let's see.
Is that 265 or something? 240? 240.
240.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Feels a little too big. I know probably any sizing is going to blow everyone away actually anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think a good size here is for Joe?
Something like 150 to
I
165.
think maybe I was thinking like 170 maybe.
DM5 getting rid of that the old Jack 3 suited that he decided to call initially for some reason. It seems like DM5 might be targeting Mark. Anytime Mark is the opener, DM5 calls with complete shit.
That's
It's
interesting.
like every time.
It feels like he can see the feed, and he's like, "Oh, this guy's folding so much. He's folding all these things." Of course, then you'd be 3-betting. I'm not
Yeah.
calling, right? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they have a grudge match we're
Maybe.
not aware of, or maybe Mark isn't aware of it either, though.
Your dead,
The placid one.
dead bet so that we could wrap
placid
like
one,
3
yes.
ways.
Yeah. He's like a,
Well, I didn't get a whole lot.
an undisturbed
I
lake.
think I think we paid half. I think
Yeah,
we got
Lake
half.
Placid.
No, and then
Yeah.
then we did a second time.
And
We
I'm
got
sure
more
Blake.
than half.
What happens in
Because
that
they were like
movie,
the 40
though?
or something like that, and I'll make it. 40.
Well, I mean, it's a place also. You know that, right? It's an actual place. There was the Olympics there once.
I don't care.
In the movie, there's a crocodile, and it kills everyone, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I think Oliver Platt is in that movie.
Great.
He's a wonderful actor.
I love it.
picking on the commentators, man.
His guest turn on The West Wing is one of the greatest
Oh, of
guest
course.
starring roles of all time in TV. And those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about.
I'll have to break
But
that one
anyway.
down in the commentary.
DM5 with a reasonable hand this time, and flops a set
Ooh.
against Kevin's top pair. Joe
out.
also has middle
But
pair.
they
Look
should
out,
consider
Kevin.
sometime,
Kevin's gonna lose a lot here, I think.
And Kevin
like,
leads.
raw footage, you know,
Just talking, he leads top pair.
because some of these games have like some good.
I don't think Kevin's going to fold to a raise because he never folds anything reasonable to a raise.
And you shouldn't fold to DM5's raise. I mean, DM5's been raising a lot without it.
And I like DM5 raising here on this Weta board.
Absolutely.
With a set. You just got to charge people. And he's going to lose Joe, but that's fine.
He's not gonna lose Kevin.
No chance. If this board runs out clean, like babies, red babies, oh man, DM5 could win a huge pot.
82, 81.
Well, that is not clean.
That's monstrous for Kevin, though. He now has top 2.
Right, so he could lose more, but it's a terrible card
Watch
for
out,
DM5.
watch out for a 10 or a queen. Okay.
It's a 4.
Here comes a big bet from somebody.
Well, Kevin checks, which is a bit
Wow.
surprising.
Is he checking a check raise?
That would be interesting.
I wonder what DMV is going to do if he
DM who?
Here's the
Seriously,
call.
what is the matter with
I
you?
don't know. It looks like he's just going to call. I like calling him DMV.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Wow.
If it wasn't the Queen of Clubs, there could have been a lot more fireworks, probably.
Oh my gosh. I don't think it probably is
Yeah.
correct. I think definitely. The only hand that anyone's losing to there is like King Jack.
Well, that's what I asked when you checked.
Well, DM5
10-8.
finally has something to go right for him. It's been a while.
But it was the Queen of Clubs, which hurts it. I mean, if it just runs out deuce of diamonds, deuce of hearts.
Yeah,
like,
maybe he gets it all. Who knows?
he gets 3 streets for sure. Or 4 streets, I guess, because he got to raise the flop.
Through the needle, man. I'm gonna get you.
I say for sure, but usually Kevin's calling there.
Kevin likes to call.
On that Weta board against that opponent, I would probably call too. At least I definitely would call the turn. I would hate it, but I would do it.
Kevin is doing the blind raise under the gun here again.
He's the only guy doing it, but he likes the action.
DM5's gonna limp the 9-6 suited.
I'm gonna get that on the turn. Maybe like 275 on the turn.
The turn was too dirty. Straights. And
Joe with a nice hand here.
And you're definitely on that range.
Gonna complete,
And I
looks
hit it,
like.
so it's there's all sorts of reasons for me to bet there.
Pot control.
And Zach obligated to at least call
Yeah.
with this hand.
You guys suck.
Make it 20 then, too.
All right, I guess.
We're gonna see a flop.
I guess that's it. No, that's it.
9-6 of hearts looking pretty good against these
Wake up
hands.
with anything, as always.
Yeah,
First player check.
still looking pretty good against these hands.
Yep, now it has 9, and that
Make
is
it
good.
15. We'll downsize a little bit from the deadline.
I think DM5 probably. Oh, Kevin bets out with the 5 deuce of
He's got-
diamonds.
He's got the backdoor straight draw. He's getting raised? It
Yeah.
looks like DM5 is raising middle pair here.
It's because Kevin only bet 15. I think he doesn't want to let the whole world
Maybe he
in.
learned his lesson from last time Kevin
Yeah.
was betting tiny.
Yeah.
Take my $35 of dead money.
Kevin calls.
What is happening in this
Oh,
world?
Kevin. I love Kevin.
3.
Well,
Drawing dead. It goes check, check. I think it's a great check by DM5.
Kevin's going to bet,
Oh,
right?
no, Kevin. Why didn't you bet? Kevin, what are you doing? Kevin, why did you
Just gave him money.
why did you call and then never put a chip in the pot?
5-3 would have been so much better.
I don't understand.
That
That is perplexing.
doesn't make too much sense. No. It's not the type of hand you should call with and then never have a plan
Well,
for bluffing or
I mean, when the guy goes checks the turn, maybe we should bet the river.
I don't get
Especially
it.
a king game even. Like, I don't know, like Jack 10 gets there. We can have it.
That's it's similar to, but a little bit more shocking even than the hand last episode where Kevin had Queen Deuce and overfloated.
This is more shocking for sure.
But that one was also really strange.
oh yeah. This is the brand new king of the mountain. though.
I don't get it.
No one's throwing this one off the hill anytime soon.
I don't understand.
DM5 now has just decided he's playing every hand.
Yep, looks like it.
And Joe's back to V Pippin.
Zach's gonna make it 30.
No.
Once again, not
Can he-
quite enough.
Not nearly enough.
And Kevin is gonna make it 60.
Not
and
nearly
DM5 is
enough.
gonna call.
I mean, this is just insanity.
Yeah,
We're
these-
completely off the rails here. These
Everybody
people.
forgot how to play poker.
This is crazy. V Pip Joe,
He could actually call there.
he could, but Zach could reopen the action.
Yeah, he could, but
I think it's probably. I mean,
Zach's not
you should never
usually
be in the
going to.
hand with 5-4
No.
off there anyway, but it's reasonable to fold.
All right, so this is a bad flop for Zach.
Yep. That is about it.
That's 125.
Like, is DMV gonna
DM5.
keep going? Well,
I mean,
again, 5 Roman numeral is a V. I can call him DMV. It's fine.
But you're doing it like not as a joke or as something that you're trying to do. It's just because you somehow forget like every 3 minutes what it is.
Wait a second.
Which is
Zach just raised. Zach just raised to 400.
Oh
Let's
my
pay attention.
goodness.
Enough picking on. No.
No.
No. No. No. No. You always call everything. You called 5 deuce last hand.
If DM5 calls
my
now, okay.
Gosh.
See, what's up? Good for the game.
Let's see if Zach shows him. It's gonna be
Oh, it's
heartbreaking.
gonna be devastating.
Don't do it.
Just a queen.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, that's good up.
A big queen.
Yeah, me too.
Kevin calls every raise always.
Well, I think
What
he
just happened?
he believes that Zach is super tight.
Yeah.
And I mean, here's the thing about Zach. We've seen him play for about 3 sessions now. And if you have a traditional read on him being a tight player, I can understand why you would consider folding one pair because you're thinking, oh,
That was the biggest
he just
flop
has
so far,
bigger
yeah.
hands than one
wow.
pair. But if you've been watching Poker Time, you also see that Zach tends to check raise top pairs that most players would not check raise.
Zach
Kind of
will-
mergy ranges.
Yeah, Zach will also just raise weirdly, like sort of out of nowhere, sort of randomly. We see that sometimes too. A little bit like Ken, Destroyer of a World, sometimes will do on the flop. Just like, I don't know, I'm just raising.
Actually, he would.
Yeah,
don't know.
but I think it's more with top pair stuff. Like we've seen it before, like with Ace 10
yeah.
against Sam, if you remember that hand.
I think we've seen him raise middle pair at least once also in the last session. But
Right.
but you're right. Mostly it's like top pair type hands.
And I think these are kind of find out where you are type raises, and that's a part of Zach's post flop repertoire, and Kevin's not aware of that.
Right. So Kevin's like, oh, he always has it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make a big fold here. Kevin who never makes a big fold. And sorry, Kevin.
That was
work out.
bad
Maybe-
timing to make a big fold.
Maybe he's going to turn a king. I don't know.
Let's just assume he is.
Let's pretend.
Ace high flop, which is good
Good for
news for
Jake.
Jake. Oh, no, it's not. Wonka's 2 pair.
Oh, bad news.
Bad news for Jake.
Kevin with a gutter. Let's see how much. If there's enough action.
It's 125.
Jake could consider raising here.
Jake had slow played this pre, right? Wonka was the original
Yeah.
raiser, and Jake just called with the ace king.
Yeah, so I think Jake could consider raising.
Actually, sorry, was DM5 the original raiser?
Oh, probably.
This is, I guess we were busy talking
Yeah,
and
we were-
joking around. Sorry,
We'll-
guys.
we'll pay attention.
That was bad. That's on us.
Raise 300.
And he does raise.
Wonka loves that. Now, Wonka knows he's sometimes losing.
Yeah, I mean, but he blocks 2 sets at least, and aces are very unlikely.
It's really just pocket tens and ace 10 that he's worried about. Jake almost never has aces for all the reasons, and really doesn't have tens that often either. He's going to 3-bet that a fair amount, right? So there's not too much to be afraid of as Wonka, but you could reasonably
There's-
decide to call.
Yeah, I
instead
don't know
of
if
get it
there's
in
too much
here.
reason to 3-bet either.
Like Jake's going to fold this hand if Wonka puts in another raise.
Yeah, I think I like a call.
I like a call too, especially on this dry up board. I think Jake's is definitely going to fold. So let's see if Jake even puts in another bet now that he's been called. I'm curious.
There is a lot for Wonka to dodge. I mean, it feels like a lot more than 16% to dodge, but it's just 16%.
I think Jake is supposed to bet here.
Yeah,
by
Wonka
the way.
has plenty of 1-pair aces that he.
Pretty good aces.
But he might fold those if Jake bets again after raising.
Jake does check. I think he's for all the reasons we're talking about.
Clean.
Wonka's now going to have to go for value.
Clean run out for Wonka. Yeah, something like 400 half
maybe,
pot.
Maybe even a little bit more just in case Jake has a hand like he has. Although you would never put him on ace king.
You wouldn't.
It's hard
maybe-
to put Jake on any kind of a reasonable hand here, honestly.
It's pretty strange. Maybe not going for value. I don't know.
Maybe you should check and let him bluff because you're afraid he's got gut shots.
Well, Wonka's going to bet and see what happens.
Well, he's definitely going to get called when he bets 330 here. Jake can't fold ace king here. Wonka absolutely can have ace queen and play it just like this, right? He's going to bet ace queen for 335.
I'm not 100% sure he's going to play his queen this way.
Really?
I think he's definitely playing his 2-pair hands this way. I'm not sure if ace queen's in there.
You know, in which part
The betting on the river.
you think he's just going to check again with ace queen?
What's he trying to get called by if he bets with ace queen?
Ace jack?
Which Jake is going to raise the flop with? I mean, I think ace king is kind of the only ace that Jake can raise on the flop.
It's
that's
so
a
hard to
1-pair.
put Jake on ace king because Jake just flatted.
Of course,
pre.
but it's so much more likely than ace jack.
Okay, I'll grant you that. I'll grant you that.
So
That's
why would
fair.
you bet ace queen?
Yeah, because if somehow Jake has ace jack and raise the flop, you're just chopping anyway, and he's not going to fold, so there's no real value there either.
It's not chopping. Ace queen's ahead.
If they both have ace queen,
Oh, ace queen. Sorry. You said
Jake
ace
calls and loses.
jack. Yep.
I think I really like how both these guys played this hand though.
Yeah, I think it was pretty interesting.
Although the one problem for Jake is, of course, by raising there, it's just hard to get a lot of value. Wonka's the kind of guy who, if he has ace queen, is going to call on the flop, for sure. He may
Yeah.
not lead the river, but he's going to call the flop.
I think
at
he'll call
least.
the flop. I just don't think he'll bet the river.
Yeah, you could be right. That's not unreasonable.
Wonka might have had the worst hand he ever shows up for value with there. And other than that, he's got bluffs. Maybe Wonka has ace king for value.
I mean, I think Wonka's 3-betting ace king almost
Yeah,
always pre.
true.
I'm still surprised Jake didn't. Jake's thinking that probably right now. He's like, I could have just 3-bet that instead of losing a big pot. Could have won a small pot.
Fold. Fold.
It's true, Jake. Jake, you do better in bomb pots, buddy.
He's got the snowmen. Oh, but Joe's got the Cowboys. That's my voice for when I talk about
It was
hands.
good. It was really good.
It's like such a
Three,
payoff
65.
on the river, man.
Fold.
Pay him off, pay him off.
Joe's doing another thing where he raises super small. This time he has it.
Yes.
Yep. But you see what happens by raising super small. Look at all the extra people who get to come in, who just wouldn't come in. And
I mean,
King-
DM5 you wouldn't expect to come with 7-5 off.
you would at any price.
Raise it on the flop, yeah.
And look, in some ways you're like, cool, he's getting value, he's got the most equity, and that's true. It's not the end of the world. But kings really don't want to play a hand 4 ways. They
No.
just don't. And they don't want to be out of position. And Kevin's in position now. And even though he's got the best hand, it's harder 4 ways. It's much more likely you're losing. I think Joe should be checking this, but he decides to bet. He's going to find out where he is pretty
I
quickly.
think it's fine to bet. You can get called by smaller pocket pairs.
Sure, he can get called once by smaller pocket pairs. But
Oh,
you can also
DM5
get,
is going to do something.
people can make plays at you.
So much.
And you give them the opportunity to do it. Now, if Joe is calling, that's fine. I think Joe really has to call at least once here. This is distribution-wise way too good.
And we've seen DM5 with a lot of post-flop raises that don't have to mean anything at all.
That's true. We also see DM5 give up a lot once his raises are called. So, oh, Jake would have gotten there.
Wow, I
That
bet.
that raise by DM5 cost Jake this pot.
Yeah,
That's devastating.
pretty rough.
For sure, Jake was going to call the 100 if DM5 folded. One more bet might do it, but I don't think he's going to pull the trigger based on past history, or just history, really.
No,
all,
past
all history
history
is
is
past
better.
history.
Damn it.
Based on the past. Oh, wait a second.
He looks like he's going for it.
Rethinking.
I'm betting on him going for it.
Now that the way his head is tilted, I guess he's going for it. Tough spot now for Joe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is repping a queen or better here. Deuces full or a queen.
Wow. What a disaster Joe's gotten himself into here. I guess if he checks, though, we were criticizing the bet. If he checks, Jake gets there on the turn anyway, and Joe's going to have to pay off 2 streets.
Yep.
At least 1 street.
I've only tried it once.
So
Goat or cow?
it's not super great.
It's
Joe's kind of screwed no matter
It's
what.
more about the pre-flop sizing that put him in this
Yes,
spot.
that's right. That's right.
Don't suggest anything.
That's right.
Nice Britney dealer.
Joe has been using a lot of time cards. I don't know if he has any left.
I could
He's going to fold.
DM5 gets it through.
Is Joe,
Wow.
is Joe out of time cards? He's used quite a few throughout the
I don't see
session.
any time cards in front of him. I think
So-
he's out.
He doesn't get to... That would have been a nice time to have one.
Yep.
He might have ended up folding anyway. I don't know.
I mean, if Joe calls the turn, is DM5 going for it on the river?
That would have been fun to see.
That would have been really fun to see. That was fun anyway.
Yeah,
Man, DM5 really adds a lot of spice to this game.
he does. He makes a lot of post-flop bluffs that put people in scary
I
spots.
love it.
Yeah.
It's cool. We don't see nearly enough of that. We got to get this guy back on the show.
Yep.
That's what you keep saying. Nice hand. Nice bet. I don't mean it, but you already know that.
What's that?
I said I don't mean it, but you already know that.
35.
Just another hand.
Well,
Joe's going to play this hand. No? What happened to VPip Joe?
If Joe's smarting from the last hand and I think just wants to take a little time to himself.
Well, Kevin's going to play the 9-4. So
Keep going.
At least it's
I feel
suited.
good about that.
At least it's suited.
It makes me happy that Kevin's playing. Jeremy probably has to call this.
Yeah.
With all this money in
It
the
seems
pot.
like a pretty easy call for
Closing the
Jeremy.
action.
Of course, it seemed like an easy call to get his hair maybe not cut so short, and he didn't make that one
Why
either.
you gotta every time, man?
You know, he actually told me that his wife cuts his hair, so sorry. Sorry, Jeremy's family. All right, so top pair for DM5. Spades for Kevin. That's most of it. Jeremy with bottom pair.
Kevin gonna bet.
DM5 obviously not going to fold.
Yeah, the question is, does he raise or call? He's been doing a lot of post-flop raising, but usually with, bad or good hands, not medium hands. And he
Right.
decides to just call the medium hand, which is standard good play, it seems like.
Jeremy's got to fight the inner demons on that one, but lets it go.
I don't really drink. I made a drink earlier today.
Oh.
Another 3. Jeremy should not have fought the inner demons.
Jeremy, you got to listen to that dude on your shoulder. And Kevin misses. The question is to try and get Kevin a call. Well, it looks like
DM5 has already checked, I suppose.
I guess he checked so super fast.
It's a pretty easy call against Kevin,
This
I
is
think.
a super easy call against Kevin. Kevin has 8-7, he's betting. If he has any 8, he's betting. If he has any 7, he's
If
betting.
he's got any bluff, he's betting.
He's betting. He can be betting worse 10s also, by the way.
Yeah.
10-9. 10-6, 10-5, 10-4. I mean, he's got them all, right?
Bluffs.
Yeah. Also bluffs. This is, yeah. And he called pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, DM5 finally on an upswing in the last hour of the game.
You know, throwing DM5 into this game is like throwing a grenade into a tank. You know, it's just like it's going to explode in all these different, weird ways that you can't really predict, and people are going to die.
I think everybody dies when you throw a grenade into a tank.
I mean, not the guy who threw the grenade in. He's probably okay.
Oh, okay.
Unless he jumps with the grenade into the tank, but that seems dumb.
If you want to be sure it goes in there.
Also, you want to see them just before they die. You want to really make sure you can see their faces. You gotta jump in. That's a limp from Zach. I mean, Mark folds again, and DM5 calls the button with 3 deuce off.
Yep. He's playing everything.
He's playing everything. In fairness, Kevin also has 3 deuce
Yeah.
off.
It's just that we're more used to Kevin playing everything. We haven't seen
true.
DM5 before. This is
It's
the first
true.
session DM5 has played.
Big pot.
Scared him off. I'm like, 5 call from the button. Strong, huh?
Top pair for Jeremy.
Yep.
Gut shot for Zach.
I was going to say those things.
I cut you off both times.
Gut.
and it
Top.
Felt good.
Check. Next round.
This is exciting. Exciting poker.
That turn card did not change a damn thing.
Jeremy should be betting now.
Zach's the only guy who has any equity against Jeremy.
I think Zach's just going to fold.
I do too. That's fine, by the way.
Yep, lets it go. We got a couple 3 deuces to get through.
You did deuce 3 too?
Nice job, Jeremy.
Pretty sure you have to play at least one for me.
God, where was our?
Is that like a hippie Mickey Mouse on Kevin's shirt?
How close are we to that next
Something
bomb
like
pot? I
that.
feel
Like
we're,
a,
right
a
about
Ra
there.
the Sun
what I
God
just
Mickey
checked.
Mouse kind of a
Like
thing?
3 minutes?
We got 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah,
minutes?
seems like something like that.
Huh.
All right.
All right.
You know,
About time.
I think it's
So we got
great.
there really
to
quick.
each their own.
We support all faiths.
It's also in the silhouette of a mushroom.
Oh, yeah. So it is. But is that just because it's a tie-dye, or did you think it's on purpose, the mushroom?
Of course, it's on purpose. Are you kidding? Look at that shirt. That is not a normal mushroom
Let's
that
take
it's
a-
trying to
Well,
represent.
let's get another look at that, Samantha. Samantha.
You can kind of see
That's
it.
not. Oh, yeah. It's definitely a mushroom.
Definitely an intentional mushroom.
That's an intentional mushroom. Agreed. Could be a spade, not a mushroom, because he loves cards so much.
I think he loves mushrooms more than he loves cards.
All right, Mark's got ace queen. Can't fold this one, right, Mark? Nope. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. We kid because we love. I think Wonka has to play this one.
Yeah, I'm
Kevin
ready for
opens.
one of those
I just
two.
don't see how he can
Get
fold.
Corona. Yeah.
I know it's offsuit. I know you're in the
Sorry.
small blind.
I didn't realize you were there.
This feels too tight, Wonka.
He's fighting with
It
his
feels too tight.
tightness.
Yeah, you
and
just got to play this one.
Although it-
DM5 also is playing every hand.
I waited.
Turns out you're dominated, but
I
whatever.
made that mistake a couple weeks ago.
Kevin's deep, you're deep. DM5 is deep.
Be expensive.
Yes, exactly. It's not a
Wonka
$5
agrees.
beer.
Wonka agrees.
$1,200.
And DM5 flops some equity here. He's got straight draw.
He's the one who connects the best with the board. I would expect him to put in a bet if check two.
Mark has the ace of hearts. His backdoor equity.
Mark is just gonna start betting his backdoor nut flush draw and overs right now. Interesting. A little surprising.
I mean, betting into 3 players is pretty strong, and there's cards on the turn that can improve him. It could be a working thing. It could work.
Be interesting to see. In the past, we've seen him give up pretty quickly on these spots. He usually doesn't bet again once called.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna bet
Whoa,
this flop,
whoa.
well,
Kevin.
Kevin doesn't like folding.
Kevin does have the best hand right now.
There's
Still has the best hand.
Another 4. It would be cool to see Mark bet again, but it's really tough to pull the trigger.
If Mark bets again, he's basically repping like 7-7 and 9-9, right?
I think he could bet over pairs again.
Yeah, I guess. It checks through,
And
and
DM5 gets there.
DM5, by the way, did not bet his turn.
Yeah.
Did not bet the turn when check two, which is surprising. But
Took a free card, and it worked out pretty well.
it's going to be hard to get any value, though.
Unless Mark bluffs here, which it looks like he's considering, but no.
Mark's thinking maybe he has the best hand sometimes. You do not.
Kevin might call. We've seen Kevin call in spots
I mean,
like
the
this.
hearts missed at least. Mark has the ace of hearts in
Nope.
his hand.
No
so
call from Kevin.
It's really, that's
You're the
one of the
last
key
one to
cards
be
here.
talking
I guess the
about
10 of
that.
hearts or the 8 of
You
hearts.
would
is
rather
in-
not have the ace of hearts in your hand right
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's even more reason to fold.
Damn. Well,
You want to have no hearts in your hand if you're going to make a crazy hero call right now. Or have a really good physical tell, or maybe the guy shows you his hand sometimes. That's a good way
now.
to...
When the guy shows you his hand, that's pretty good.
That's a physical tell. Mark is thinking about it. Could he possibly think about raising?
That would be interesting.
That would be really interesting. Doesn't look like it, though.
Looks like he's gonna make the call.
Wow. Well, good news for DM5. Bad news for Mark.
Just over 14K in the pot. The turn is the 4 of diamonds.
Hey, what is that? Speaking of turn, coming around the mountain? Is
Oh.
that the Nitrogen Sports Poker train?
I think they did buy a train recently.
If you listen, you can hear its very familiar jingle. And choo-choo. Wait, there's the jingle. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Wow, that's the weirdest ad ever. All of a sudden. Anyway, Nitrogen Sports Poker Room is, they let us do ads like this.
They
perhaps
do.
because they don't listen to them.
Free reign, baby. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
No, in the first
And
hour,
coming back to a bomb pot.
Hell yeah, we are.
This is the most bomb pots we've ever had in a session by a lot.
Yeah, these guys have done it. This is, I think, at least the 4th bomb pot we've
Oh,
had.
it's more than that for sure.
It's great.
Gambly table.
Oh, yeah. This table's got huge amount of gamble in them. Somehow, if you've been missing all the bomb pots and all the episodes, the bomb pot is where everyone antes $25, and we just put out the flop right away and go from there. So everyone sees the flop, and there's $200 in the pot already.
Got a pair of sixes and ace queen are the two real pre-flop hands here.
So I guess you didn't have a queen then, because you would remember flopping
I
top
know.
seven.
I'm sorry. Though.
And
Gut shot for Joe.
10 for Mark is the best hand.
Gut shot for Jeremy as well.
I don't know.
Mark is going to bet his 10, and he's going to bet tiny. We saw him do this with the first bomb pot when he had middle pair. He bet super small.
I think he had a queen.
He's definitely not going to fold
so you thought
out
maybe
Joe's
he had a
ace
queen
queen
with
or
a
probably
queen.
Jeremy's jack 9 either for
I thought you
25.
said there was with a queen.
No.
There's a big
25 and a 200 is so weird in a bomb pot.
Jeremy's getting an immediate 9 to 1. I don't see how he can fold getting
Yeah.
it with the gutter here.
Wonka is a deuce.
For 25, Wonka's probably supposed to call with a deuce.
He's got a lot of players behind.
That's true. That's probably the big concern. He was on the button, though, too. Makes it a little better.
Joe's going to call his gut shot.
Joe should be calling
Zach's
there.
going to call his deuce.
Yep.
And Kevin's going to call his sixes.
Okay, and Mark is somehow ahead, but
Somehow.
hates his life.
Another king is a good card for Mark. Removes
doesn't
a
know
lot
that,
of combos of hands that are beating him.
It does, but also it means anyone who's got a king is never folding.
Well, Mark's not bluffing.
Well, he just bet 25.
Yeah.
What the hell?
weird.
It gets weird for the gutters now with the board paired and him betting 25 and all these people in.
I think Jeremy is supposed to fold and Joe is supposed to call.
I think you're right.
Corona gets like a post Cinco de Mayo.
Jeremy is getting an outrageous price. He's getting
Yeah.
14 to 1,
All right, that's fair enough.
and he's going to be in position. It's a reasonable call for 25. Joe cannot fold for 25. Joe could put in a raise, but
It would be
he does.
nice to see a raise from one of these guys,
Yeah.
considering that we've seen Mark do this before and he didn't really have anything. Similar type situation, I think.
And there's the ace that would have been it for Joe. $25, you would have won the whole pop, my friend. Although Queen Jack looks like it got there, but I guess if Mark checks, Jeremy could reasonably bluff here.
Yeah, might work.
Mark's like, now what do I do?
Bet 10.
So Jeremy, a solid bet here, should take it down. I think he should take the shot. This is one of the values of being in position.
He might just be worried that Kevin's in the hand, and Kevin doesn't like to fold.
But Kevin almost never has a king. He would have raised a lot of the time or bet over $25
Kevin can
on
have
the turn.
had ace high the whole time and hidden ace and never be folding.
That's
though.
true, but he can also have tens and a lot of other things. I think as Jeremy, we should take a shot here. There's $400 in there. You bet $250. You don't have to win that often. He's thinking about it. I think he's thinking about it because he's going to bluff.
Well,
What would you do if you had Queen Jack? How much would you bet? Bet that much.
700.
Jeremy does block the Queen Jack because he has a jack in his hand. That's a little bit nice, too. We can see that it would almost certainly work if he bets here.
He's really taking his time with this decision.
Yeah, he's trying to decide, is this really going to get through enough? Looks
Oh,
like
he
he
just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had it, man. You're going to be very sad when you see it.
6, 8. Oh, you flipped the other one. Oh, God.
It's pretty sick that a 10 is going to win this.
Don't think about bluff.
Joe's got to be pretty unhappy, too.
Yeah, he's just stabbed at it. Why not?
It's okay, Jeremy, that $400. You can't really buy anything for $400 anyway
No,
these
no,
days.
not these days.
I mean, what do you get for $400?
I
Like,
mean, you get like a side of fries.
one of the best. I mean, if you could go to pretty much any restaurant in the world and get a really good meal.
Yeah.
You can flight to anywhere in the United States. $400.
I don't know about that.
Pretty much anyway. Come on.
40 now with
A one-way ticket.
Okay, still. You can get anywhere you want in the entire country
Give him 30 of it.
for that $400.
I'll do 30 of it.
Why don't you get
A whole new wardrobe for $400, Jeremy.
Can't come back. Whole new wardrobe, levy level wardrobe.
Okay.
I already did straddle it.
You go to H&M, get a whole new wardrobe, but whatever, or some really nice shirts. Get like 4 really nice shirts. How about that? But don't worry about it, Jeremy. You don't have to worry about what you would spend that $400 on now, do you?
He doesn't have to worry about it. It's
Nope, it's not an issue for you.
I mean, I think right now he wishes. He
Jeremy's fast becoming a foil. I love it.
You just like making fun of people.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason we have this show.
Why else would we do this? I don't. It's not about the game. It's about the ribbon.
Well, we got some garbage and sixes.
Yep.
And Kevin looks like he did the old blind raise under the gun. I don't
Yeah.
imagine that's going to stop before the end of the session.
Still 39 seconds. That's the best 30.
Yeah, I think they got the ball though.
Golden State does.
Mark's just gonna take a no equity shot here.
It's going to work. Unless Kevin decides to go nuts.
Either one of these guys could call, but no
Kevin
one's-
might call and then
Yeah.
check, and
give up.
Mark wins
Yeah,
with
it
8
just
high.
checks all the way down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing, but instead, Mark just wins now.
We've got about 20 minutes left in this entire session, and these guys have quite a bit of gamble. So
Yeah, we've seen 3 hours and 40 minutes, and these guys have been playing hard. They've been going at it, and now but they know it's winding down too. Sometimes we'll see guys really lose their minds in the last 20 minutes.
some
so.
people try to lock up a win.
Finally.
Yep.
I mean,
Some
we can get
people
around
try to lose their
them.
minds.
Some people try and
Who
get back to even.
There
You
we
know,
go.
We've got a candidate in Kevin to really try to.
Hard to do it.
DMS just limped.
Who?
It was. Just let me talk about the hand. DM5 after Mark I think blind raised. DM5 just limped with the ace king of hearts.
Yep.
I guess he's trying to induce a raise.
He's absolutely trying to induce a raise.
It's probably not going to work unless Kevin raises right here.
Nope. Looks like Kevin's already called.
What a disaster.
A mini bomb pot.
It's not a disaster.
Disaster. No, he's 48% equity. It's all right.
Very mini.
I feel like you can find a different
With a couple less players.
Still is the best hand here.
It's weird, but he does.
Yeah. Why do you keep doing that, huh? It seems like conspiracy at this point.
Talked about this. You don't want to be in the company on the internet of the people who hire.
Well, the 9 of diamonds is in play for Mark.
Yep.
I would
Ready
expect
for
him
a
to bet
bomb
it,
pot.
honestly.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
giving
checks right
myself
through,
the
though.
time for
Never
a bomb
mind.
pot already.
And a 7 for Zach.
I
Is the
think it
best
should be.
hand in.
There's only $80 in there. No one's going to take a shot at it. Zach gets to win. DM5, don't even turn it over. Don't let him see. There you go.
That's your turn for the dead
They don't need to know.
You can make this thing. Why not?
They don't need to know anything.
Protect that information until, I mean, now they know. But, you know, maybe you played with these guys since then. I don't know.
25 bomb pot.
All right, here we go. It's everyone's sort of come back to the middle.
I'm
Joe's
down.
the only guy who's up over $1,000. We only have 2 big losers. Zach and Jeremy.
Jeremy mostly from
Here
that
we go,
bomb
guys.
pot
We're
hand with
good to
Jake.
go.
And it looks like, speaking of bomb pots, we're going again. Another bomb pot.
These guys love the bomb pots, and we love watching them. So. Here we go.
All right.
Kevin's got a real hand.
There's got to be a better hand this time than last time.
King, Queen of Clubs is out there. That's pretty good. But yeah, that 10 winning last time seemed wrong.
Well, there's a 10 on the flop again, and Jeremy has a 10. Is that the best hand? It
Zach
looks
has
like
a
it
gutter and a
is.
pair. Jake's got the over and gut shot. Joe has a pair and a gut shot as well.
We've had a very weak sampling of hands in these bomb
Yeah.
pots so far.
They really have.
Zach's going to bet his pair and straight draw on the
Sounds
button.
reasonable to me. I kind of like it.
Yeah, he's on the button.
Also, every time he improves, it should be scare cards for the table. So, Kevin's going to call it the King, Queen of Clubs because,
you know,
it's cheap at least. It was only 45 into 200.
Sure.
But there's a million people behind you, man.
Jeremy has top pair and is considering what to do.
Yeah.
And his face is completely obscured by Kevin's hand. So take all those things into account.
Yeah. Jeremy's probably thinking that's such a small bet. He doesn't want to let the whole world in.
And why is there the number 1-8 and a percentage sign on my nose? Feels weird on my nose.
It's just a graphic, Jeremy. It's not real.
Stop trying to move to. Okay.
He does raise it up.
He did raise. Yeah, interesting.
I think he's aware that it's a dynamic board, and like often, whoever's ahead right now is not going to be ahead by the end, especially with all these players in.
And he's just going to take it down, which is a nice result.
I think that's a great result for that hand. He also knows if he gets called, he can mostly shut it down.
25 out there.
Are they doing another bomb pot? Looked like Jeremy was flicking in another
Fine with
25.
me.
We're two eights of the
Yeah,
way there.
15 minutes. It's not even.
Huh?
It's gonna take the whole round.
Kevin's trying to get it going, that's for sure.
That's the whole point. We talked about this earlier.
A round of bomb
A
pots. has
round
been-
of bomb pots? Is that really going to happen?
I can't believe it.
Nope.
Mark doesn't look interested at all. in
Nope.
that.
DM5, I think, shut it down.
What is it?
It's where DM5 is one of the guys who wants to see a flop so often. Like this is the way to do
Yeah.
it. But I guess he gets to see the flop either way for
The
25.
stakes get a lot higher if you're playing $25 bomb pots every hand.
It's for sure.
With a $50 bring-in, I'd be about that.
It's not exactly what you sign up for when you sign up for a
No.
5-10 game.
No. Poker's weird that way, though. You're playing a cash game, and then everyone just decides to do something, and sometimes you're just sort of forced to go along with it. I mean,
Yeah,
you're not
sometimes
forced
there's
to.
a 1-2 game where people start straddling for 10 every hand, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, now I'm playing $400 deep in a 5-10 game, basically.
I was playing a four-handed cash game where we had a kill on, so the stakes doubled every time someone won 2 pots in a row. And you're four-handed, it happens all the time.
And that
It's
was a
pretty crazy.
no limit game?
No, that was a
Okay.
20-40 limit game, but it killed the 40-80. I mean, like, pots got big fast, you know?
Sure. Imagine that in a no limit game.
I mean, it's a similar kind of a thing.
Yeah. But SPR is a thing in no limit that is not
That's
really
correct.
in limit.
That's true.
So 10-6 for DM5 is the best hand. He just checks it down.
Weird.
He was trying to get somebody to bet.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. Nobody had anything.
It was a epic fail, as the kids used to say in 2008.
Maybe when I was a kid, that's when
I think
people
2008 epic fail was a thing. Epic
2000
fail. You
Yeah,
have to say
maybe
it
I
that
was
way.
more of like a college age person when that was a thing.
You were probably saying it a lot and
I
not
was
saying it very well.
I was not.
Were you saying it poorly though? You were like epic fail like that, and people were like, just looked at you and just looked away.
You know how much I despise most common like trendy language.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been that way. I
What
did
are-
not enjoy that.
What are some other things you despise, like language-wise?
Like whenever you talk, does that count?
I think that qualifies. Sure, that's
Okay.
language. Yeah,
Cool,
yeah,
cool,
that,
cool.
that counts. Yeah. What else? Okay, so everything I say. What else?
So LeBron,
That includes a lot of stuff.
17.
If I say something though, like, you know, gotta eat it up. Does that mean if anyone ever
Oh,
says
actually,
that again?
I love that. When you say that, that's really good.
so that means
Mark is
17, 18.
gonna play a speculative hand. What? I don't understand.
All right, here's one. Awesome sauce. I hate that one.
Well, that is horrible.
Yeah.
Well, no. I think we need to talk about Mark, who's folded so many speculative hands for raises, is now calling Jack 9 of clubs on the button. Is this because there's 15 minutes left?
I guess. Maybe
Feels
that's-
like it.
Maybe that's why.
Feels like it. Maybe if we talked to him, though, he'd give us other reasons. Well, he sure missed. This is why you don't do that, Mark.
Right, sure.
It's an 8 for Kevin, and that's
Nobody's
it.
got an ace, which is a bit surprising. Joe's going to take a stab.
Well, it's an ace high board. It's not crazy. Kevin's going to call with his 8.
Kevin
and
is unstabbable.
He's basically Rasputin.
No, Rasputin can be stabbed. He just won't die from it.
Well, I mean, Joe took a stab and Kevin didn't die from it. That's reasonable.
This is the best shot.
All right, if Joe continues, it's tough for Kevin, but Kevin's the kind of guy who just doesn't like to fold, so maybe not the best customer for this bluff. How much should Joe bet? He needs to bet kind of big. Well, 150 is big. And look how quickly Kevin calls. I think you're going to need like a heart on the river or something helpful like that. That's
How about
helpful.
a queen? That's helpful.
How about the 3 outer to
This
actually
is
make the
somehow a
best hand?
$605 pot.
It's going to go check now, right?
Yep.
What? Joe is reaching
This is
as he puts out a blocker bet now.
wow. This is going to be incredible value, and
It
he
is
gets
the
incredible
ultimate-
value.
The ultimate value.
Wow,
That's brutal for Kevin.
that's pretty brutal. Yeah.
Look at him shake his head. Yeah, you had the right read on him that time, Kevin.
Push me up.
Ouch.
Just 3 outed you in a pot that ended up being $900 when it could have been just no money goes in at any point, basically.
That was a pretty big pot for those hands.
That's really unlucky. And the fact that Joe went for, I know, blocker bet, but still,
Yeah.
value and got it on the river is pretty sick.
You're making a prediction
It's actually
right now.
kinda crazy.
It's put up a price right now.
I'd be like in the ballpark. No.
Yes.
You said you could beat them. They could
You
beat
think Joe would check and try and let hearts bluff, but
What do you
why do that when you can get value?
I'm gonna shut this conversation down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
guts, Jeremy? Come on.
Zach is going to raise it up. Hell yeah.
Not enough to wage.
The thing about Zach is he doesn't just raise poker hands. He also raises the roof.
It's just a weird one of your just like random algorithms went off in your head, and that's what you said.
I don't know.
Anyway, he raises it pretty. Kevin raises pretty small over Zach's raise, and Wonka is in a spot now.
Wonka's
because-
got to fight like all the normal Wonka rules where you would fold ace queen to a cold 3 bet, or just a 3 bet. I guess they're all cold.
They're all cold.
Um,
all of them.
Well, they aren't all, but they're mostly cold.
He's got to play the hand. It's Kevin.
I think he absolutely has to play this hand. He looks like he agrees, and he's going to call. It seems like the right move to me. Zach really kind of has to put in the 50. It's just 50 to win 210, closing the action with 2 Broadway cards. So pretty straightforward.
175.
175 is bet.
And there it is for Wonka.
Real good flop for the Wonks.
No one else has anything at all. Will Kevin put a lot of money in? And the answer
It's-
looks like it's going to
It's
be a
probable, and he's gonna lose all his money with 10-8 in this session apparently.
yes. Maybe. He could turn it Jack or something. Wonka, I assume, is just calling here.
I don't think Wonka's ever folding.
No.
Like for the rest of the hand,
Oh.
I mean. It's gonna be tough for that to happen unless Zach raises.
Right.
Heads up.
Wonka, of course, just calls.
Zach gets out. This is a perfect run out. Setup, I mean, so far for Wonka here. Will Kevin keep firing? Let's see if he picks up any equity here.
He does.
Wow. Well, a jack is now a disaster card for Wonka, of course, but failing those 4 outs.
It's 1 out, apparently. 3 jacks have been folded, and there's a king.
King of clubs. That shouldn't be too scary
Yeah.
for Wonka. I assume Wonka is going to go for value here, and that'll be the end of the hand usually.
Although it is Kevin, and sometimes it's best to let Kevin try to bluff.
That's got it. But Kevin also likes to call a lot. If Kevin has anything, he's probably calling, right? Wonka does give Kevin a chance. Kevin cannot help it. I don't blame him at this point.
I don't either.
You got 10 high. The board looks scary.
What do you bet? 300? This is getting called immediately, right?
Wonka's nit rolling him a little bit here.
Yeah, a bit of a nit roll. But he didn't take too long.
No, that wasn't bad. Wonka even has the ace of clubs in his hand. Like, come on, Wonka. Is he thinking like kings got there? I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, you check to let him bet, right? That's why you checked.
There was a moment when Kevin was up 2.7K, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That has gone away.
We've had so many crazy things, though. Like, DM5 was way down at one point.
Yeah.
He was down like 2K. I mean, things are just moved around so much.
Now Zach is the big loser.
Mark and Jake basically are just breaking even. Everyone else is up or down a reasonable amount of money. And let's... Yeah, okay. Thanks, Samantha.
I thought we got rid of Samantha after the end of last
I thought we
episode.
did, too, but apparently it's hard to find a new person this
well,
quickly.
It's the damn unions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Highlights of the Golden State Rockets game out the corner of my eye.
They're really sensitive about, you know.
When we fire the elderly inmates.
I mean, I don't know why, but yes. There's a whole thing. Interesting Jeremy's thinking about this so much.
Maybe he's considering a 3-bet.
It has to be, right? He's certainly not going to fold this hand.
It's strange to 3-bet when Zach opens.
Exactly, in early position. It feels like just a pretty easy call, but I guess he's just taking his time. So I could have taken a shot at his hair right there, but I didn't. That was nice of me, right?
Yeah, it definitely came off nice in the end.
Okay.
And, this is quite a flop. Look at this. Jeremy has a royal flush draw with a pair, and Zach has top 2. Kevin also with a flush draw.
This is insane. Zach's going to start betting, and I think Jeremy should raise this hand right now. I think Jeremy should raise and hope to get as much money in as possible and see what happens, especially when Kevin calls.
And not necessarily expect Zach to fold too often, because
No,
Zach
it's okay.
doesn't c-bet when he doesn't have it.
It's okay if Zach doesn't fold. Every time Jeremy improves, it's going to scare the world.
Yep.
It's time to raise. And he's got all nut draws, so it's okay. He's probably not ahead right now. He can fold out better hands sometimes by raising also. I really like a raise, especially with Kevin in here too.
Looks
Kevin
like
is
just
gonna
a call.
Kevin, who, by the way, would absolutely call as well.
Jeremy just calls.
Interesting.
Well, if a spade comes, he's going to get a lot out of Kevin.
Yep. If a 10 comes, he's going to get money out of Zach, I think.
At least a little. That's a brick.
Zach should be betting again here.
Absolutely.
But he checks. Maybe he's going to check raise?
I hope so.
Kevin bets 100. You have to raise this. Don't you, as Jeremy?
One of these two guys has to raise this. Either Zach or Jeremy.
I think you just absolutely have to raise. Maybe he's afraid that Kevin just isn't the folding type.
I mean, that would be fine with Kevin's hand.
Right, but if Kevin has any pair, he's just going to call, and then you just put more money in. But you have a jack anyway. But he decides just to call and play it safe. I think it's time to check raise, Zach.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing it.
Nice.
Good job, Zach.
Is it 400? Great.
Yep. Now Kevin's kind of supposed to fold, but not interested.
And now Jeremy probably should just be calling. Because now you think you don't have fold equity.
Zach
for
seems
Jeremy.
to have a very strong hand. This might be the worst hand Zach ever has. Maybe he has ace-jack.
Maybe. Feels like a very straightforward call for Jeremy, and hope to improve. And you don't know what you do. If the jack comes, you don't know what to do. Everything else is pretty straightforward.
All right, this is an interesting one.
The 8 of spades is a weird card, too. It's the 9 of clubs. So Zach checks again. I guess a 10 is it's scary.
Is Jeremy going to take a shot? He knows he can't be winning.
He shouldn't take a shot because Zach feels like he's super strong, and I don't
Yeah.
know if Zach's folding a set of aces here. I'd be really concerned about him getting rid of the hand.
He could rep a 10.
Of course he could, but I'd be really concerned about him actually folding top set. And if you can't fold that out, I don't think after Zach took that line.
Well, that's a big help to Zach at the end of the session. He'd been down the most. Now he's not down the most anymore.
And Jeremy's got to feel like he lost pretty much the minimum there. He could have raised the flop and gotten it all in on the flop pretty reasonably.
Yeah.
or at least put in a lot. By the river, they could have been, nearly all in.
Yeah.
Damn thing just
So.
Oh, here's some more language I don't like.
Oh, great.
Current, more current than awesome sauce. Clapback. You know what that is?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's annoying to me.
Here's something that it's not that I don't like. I just don't really get it. What does subtweet mean? When someone subtweets, it's like you're putting someone down, but you're doing it in a very particular way that I don't get.
It's like
on Twitter.
you're using their tweet against them in a way that's trying to say, like, look how dumb this jackass is.
Huh. Okay. That doesn't sound so bad, I guess. People do that a lot, right?
Yeah. And Kevin's going to open it up to 80. And this is bad timing for that because DM5 has kings. It looks like it's just a call from DM5.
No. It's a
it's a
raise.
3-bet. Okay, never mind.
No, yeah, he put in 7 chips.
Seems
Kevin's
like
never folding.
Seems like the right play when Kevin makes it 80 and it's Kevin.
Kevin's just never, ever, ever folding a hand that is always dominated. Well, not always. Often dominated.
This could be the rock bottom of Kevin's spiral that he's been
Yeah.
on for a bit here.
He could have flopped an ace. He didn't. He does have the ace of diamonds in his hand. He's got 2 back doors.
DM5's plan should be to bet and never fold to any race.
I think that is a clear plan right now. Kevin only has 1.6 back. It's like 315.
320, and Kevin just snap calls. 315, yeah.
Insta call, I think, no problem. Looks like Kevin's got 2 10s.
And it's an 8.
Super easy bet on the turn for DM.
Could just move
DM5.
in if he wants to. I don't expect that Kevin is supposed. I mean, I don't know what Kevin's going to do.
I don't think you should move in. I think you should give Kevin a chance. You should chunk it out so that way Kevin's going to call the turn and river more often. That's a little small.
Looks like. No, it says he's all in.
Oh, okay. He did
So
go
he
in.
did
Sorry.
move it in.
I think like there's 1.1k left. 450, 500 on the turn, go all in on the river. This is probably a better plan. Maybe just trying to get. He figures if Kevin has an overpair, he's just snapping though, which is probably true.
You want to do rock, paper, scissors? $5 against these 4 time cards. You never know if you want to.
Man, DM5 is a great example of how poker can turn around pretty quick.
Yeah.
He was down like 2.2k earlier in the session, and now he might be the big winner.
He's climbed out of the primordial ooze.
Yep.
And he is walking on 2 legs.
That's correct. Looks like we have a bomb
poker-wise.
pot. We've got a bomb pot here.
Yep, Kevin really wants to try and get some money back. DM5 now with 5.6k in front of him. There's some deep stacks at this table. 4.6 for Joe, 3.7 for Zach, 3.9 for Wonka.
Once again, no real good hands here.
Marcus 10-9 of clubs and flops top pair. Besides that, top pair for Jeremy as well. Better top pair.
Yep.
An 8 for Jake.
King 10, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it.
What is with these bomb pots?
This is what actually happens.
I think this is, as a sample, the bomb pots we've played this session probably end up with a worse winning hand than the average bomb pot.
Sure. So we have Mark betting. Mark bets, takes shots at bomb pots constantly. We see
Although this time he bet 80 into 200 instead of 25 into 200.
Yep. So, okay. But Jeremy with top pair, you can sort of see what Mark does on the turn. I think that would be the plan.
Yeah, I don't think you should fold yet.
I could see a spot there where Mark just bets trying to charge the draws, and Jeremy ends up finding a fold, but let's see how it plays out. That's as bricky as it gets. I mean, it's a bomb pot. Anyone can have 2 pair here. Anyone can have 10s and 3s.
Mark does seem to continue betting more than most people.
Let's see how he
Spots like
sizes
this.
it, though. This feels like a really important thing. It's 125. That is way too small to fold, I think, for Jeremy.
Yeah, I think you just got to keep going.
If anything, I mean, not that I don't think you should be raising as Jeremy here, but I'd be worried that Mark is pricing himself into some of the draws. Feels like he's got a draw.
Yeah, I mean, I would be remembering last bomb pot where Mark had the 10
Yeah.
with 10-8, but he was making it 25 on both flop and turn, so I would be a little concerned that the sizing is different.
Well, now as Jeremy, you're really hoping he checks, because if he bets any sizable amount, you're probably screwed.
Yeah, it seems likely.
You're probably going to have to
Like
find
if
a
Mark
fold.
bets, what's he trying to get called by?
Exactly.
An 8?
He is going to bet. Is he going to be a blocker bet, though? It must be a blocker. Let's see. It is a blocker. 125 again. Now that's
you
an
can
easy
easily
call.
just call.
Now Jeremy knows Jeremy should know that he's beating some of Mark's value range here. Yeah, he doesn't like it. He feels like he's getting played, but it's going to be fine, Jeremy.
Bomb pot.
There's like, oh,
$100 bomb
good
pot.
news.
I think there's a slight problem with Mark's line there. I don't know if Jeremy has 8s.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I don't know either.
You second it, you can probably get
Well,
it.
if Jeremy has worse 10s, the 9 plays at least.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, $100 last
I mean, I
game
think
bomb
what's
pot.
going on is Mark is just trying to he's betting the flop because he's got top
Look,
pair,
we got a
seeing what
second,
happens.
$100.
The turn happens, their heads up, there's
Alright,
draws.
first fine.
He doesn't want to get blown off it, so
Go
he
for
bets
it.
small to block. and then the river. The draw comes in. He doesn't want to get blown off it, so he wants to make a bet that if Jeremy raises, he kind of always has him.
Everyone puts in $5.
But that said,
He gets dealt a hand.
it's hard. It's hard to actually be getting value with those bets.
Well, it looks like we got one more bomb pot, and then we're done
Woo!
with the session.
This is craziness.
Last
But
hand of the
fun.
session.
DM5, Ace 10, a few King Jacks out there also.
100.
7
9-3
deuce,
suited.
7 deuce for Zach.
All sorts of things.
All
King
right.
Jacks make top pair.
Well, there's a double gutter for Kevin.
250 raise.
King Jack, yeah, makes top pair. Nobody has a spade draw. Somehow.
Kevin bet his double gutter for 100.
And Mark
raised.
raised. Wow. Well, he's going to get rid of the other King Jack, I think.
Yeah, I think he should. There goes. Well, I guess Joe hasn't folded yet. I assume. I saw Wonka fold, and I just assumed Joe was folding too. I don't see how Joe can ever call this. That is a big surprise. I guess Mark is trying to just make sure all the flotsam and jetsam gets out.
I mean, he's isolating Kevin and Kevin's last hand.
Look how great this
desire.
is. Look at the spot he's going to put himself in,
It's
too,
gonna
if
be
he
a great
folds out
spot.
King Jack. Now he's just up against the double gutter.
It's pretty good.
In position. It's kind of beautiful.
Kevin calls with the double gutter.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
And
Bink.
gets there.
It's a check. Both these guys are pretty short now. They have just barely more than a pot size.
And Mark's just going to keep betting.
No, he
and-
moves him. He moved in. Wait. No, he bet
Mark
250.
bet
I'm sorry.
250
And he insta calls Kevin shove. And he's drawing dead.
Yep.
So Kevin
No,
gets
it
the
made
big
my
double
heart
at the
sink a
end.
little bit. I don't know if I might have you.
Well, Kevin wins a little bit back, but not quite to where he once was. That was a fun session.
Wow, it was amazing.
We'll see you guys next week for a whole new session of Poker Time.